Much anticipated day is finally upon us, and under an hour at 12 noon British time, the beautiful US actress Meghan Markle will be marrying her Prince Charming, Harry, the younger son of heir to the throne Prince Charles. And fans and supporters hope Harry and Meghan's union will inject new life into a monarchy striving to stay relevant in the modern age. Today, as dawn broke over the castle's ancient stone walls, excited crowds have already begun to assemble behind barriers lining Windsor's gentle lanes, many draped in British as well as American flags, and police armed with semi-automatic weapons have patrolled the streets and monitored from nearby roofs. Let's cross live to Windsor in the county of Berkshire for an update at Windsor Castle with Catherine Drew. Catherine, a very good afternoon to you once again. Well, it's still morning this side. I understand the nuptials are about to take place at 12 British time. Do tell us, I've seen among some of our favorite celebrities this side, I've seen David and Victoria Beckham, I've seen Anne Hathaway, and I've seen the Clooney's, George and Amal, and even Idris Elba arriving. Do tell us, what are you currently seeing where you are stationed?
Well, yes, we're still seeing the crowds arriving, of course. Those celebs are behind a lot of security to get to that castle, which, as you can see, is behind me. But everyone here enjoying the celeb spotting as the worlds of royalty and Hollywood, acting, the charity sector come together. As you mentioned, Idris Elba, we've seen the musician James Blunt, but also Oprah Winfrey, the US chat show host. Now, that's been a surprise. There had been some speculation earlier in the week that she might make an appearance because she was spotted in London. But we're not quite sure of her connection, although we understand that she may have had some meetings with Meghan Markle's mother, Doria Ragland. So that set Twitter abuzz, I must say, with the appearance of Oprah Winfrey. But as you said, people are gathering. It's just under 2 hours here. What they had asked for, though, is guests to be in the chapel well before the royals and the Queen gets there, and before Prince Harry, of course, and then finally his bride. So people have been asked to assemble, and of course now they can use that time to chit-chat amongst themselves.
You know, Catherine, speaking of the Queen, do you know anything about the special gift that she's going to give the couple this afternoon?
Well, we're not sure if there are any special gifts. The couple have asked that instead of gifts that people give to charity. We do know that she has bestowed new titles, as is customary when a royal gets married, and Prince Harry and Meghan Markle would become the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. That had been widely tipped, actually, so that's, well, what they will be referred to in the future. Her Royal Highness, the Duchess of Sussex, that will be Meghan's new title. So those are some of the gifts that the Queen will give her grandson.
You said this is, of course, a new tradition here. Catherine, talk to us more about maybe what their responsibilities as the Duke and Duchess of Sussex is going to be.
That's right. Well, the couple both, and that's one of the things that brought them together, they both have a very keen interest in charity work. And I should say, actually, that Prince Seso from Lesotho, he is here. Of course, he founded the charity centre Bale with Prince Harry, and they've been working with orphans and other children affected by HIV. So both of them have a very keen interest in charity work. Prince Harry, we saw just recently, has been appointed a youth ambassador for the Commonwealth. And so I think we can expect that in their future we'll see an awful lot of travel as they go forth and represent the UK and the Commonwealth. Their first tour has been announced. They will be visiting New Zealand and Australia, the Fiji Islands and Tonga. That's before the end of the year. So we do anticipate that a lot of their work will be centred around the Commonwealth and, of course, their other charity interests.
All right, and Catherine, before I let you go this time, look, we were speculating around the dress earlier on, and we didn't know whether it's going to be that traditional or it's going to be a millennial dress. Do tell us, is it going to be white or pearls? I mean, what have you found out so far for us?
We found out nothing. This is top secret. Earlier in the week, there had been, in recent weeks, there had been some speculation that the Australian couple, Ralph and Russo, who are based in London, would be the designers. They had made her engagement dress, and they're known for beautiful gowns. They've dressed Angelina Jolie and Gwyneth Paltrow. But betting on who would be the designer was actually stopped when a flurry of bets occurred and there was suspicious activity. So different designers are being touted around. A lot of speculation. Perhaps it will be traditional, perhaps she will surprise us all, but either way, it is top secret at the moment.
All right, and Catherine, I'm sure that, of course, it's going to be a long day of celebrations throughout London this afternoon, but do we know at this stage how long the wedding party celebrations are expected to last today?
Well, I think they can the celebrations outside in the street are going to last well into the evening, I'm sure, unless people start drinking in the afternoon and perhaps peak too soon. As for the royal celebrations, we know that immediately afterwards there will be a lunch. That will be for the 600 guests who have gathered behind me here in the castle. And then into the evening at Frogmore House, again on the royal estate here as part of the castle, in a beautiful house, there will be an evening party, dinner and dancing, so very traditional reception. That will be for 200 of the couple's friends and family. So obviously a hot ticket in town, and who knows what will happen. That will of course be behind closed doors, so we won't be privy to any of those celebrations.
All right, and of course, Catherine, maybe just take us through the official program once the bride arrives. What can we expect from then on up until, of course, the nuptials are done?
Well, the bride will walk herself down the aisle, the first part of the aisle. This, of course, had been the subject of much controversy after there was speculation as to whether her father, Thomas Markle, would or will not travel to the UK. At the middle part of the church, she will then meet Prince Charles, her future father-in-law, and he will escort her the rest of the way to where her prince is waiting for her. And then there will be a service. It's going to be about an hour long. There is some classical music in that. We will also hear from a gospel choir, a London-based gospel choir as well, music from Benny King and Etta James, and so it's going to be quite a mix and will reflect the couple's varying interests and varying backgrounds, of course.
All right, and Catherine, another thing that I failed to mention it prior you about earlier on, I've understood that, of course, in preparation for the celebrity guests, the food and cake are at the top of those things that people need to look out for. Do you talk to us about maybe the catering and, of course, the cake?
The catering and the cake. Well, the ceremony will be followed by a traditional wedding breakfast. We don't know exactly what that's going to include. It won't be a bacon sandwich, I don't think, but apparently people will be served food, traditional seasonal food, and they'll be able to mingle. That'll be served as canapes and in bowls. The cake, traditionally for a royal wedding, is a heavy fruit cake. Not this time. Harry and Meghan have opted for a sponge cake. I believe it's a lemon sponge with an elderflower butter icing, which sounds delicious and has been replicated in many of the bakeries around here in Windsor. Very, very popular. So that's what we know of the catering so far, but perhaps later in the day, when people have enjoyed this hospitality, we'll find out a little more.
We're going to leave it then, let you get on with the festivities, continue monitoring things for us outside Berkshire there, Windsor Castle. That is Catherine Drew. That is, of course, our reporter stationed right outside the castle there. And she has a bird's view eye of all that is happening around there. Of course, the whole world awaits those nuptials between Prince Harry and, of course, Meghan Markle. We do understand that Princess Charlotte is also going to be part of that wedding. These are the current live visuals. We've seen some celebrities arriving there. Idris Elba, we understand Oprah has also surprised everybody by gracing the wedding guests with her presence there. The Beckhams, David and Victoria, Anne Hathaway and the Clooney's, George and Amal, all looking very royal this morning for that wedding. It is due to start at 12 midday British time.